Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what the game has for me today. We've got the Jack. Jack, of course, one of my very favorite characters, a very difficult character depending on what weapon we roll, but let's roll and see what we get. And we've got the Torch. I feel like this might be what I already did. One second. And it's not. We did Wand, so a different elemental burning weapon, but Torch is a new one, so let's give Jack with the Torch a try. Being able to knock enemies away with the Torch definitely makes this a little more powerful, because we can push these enemies away while we're doing the burning ticks to them. There's no chance we kill this tree, right? Because the tree does have the increased damage, or increased health. And we just don't have enough damage to kill it. So we make a lot less money than Jack normally does in the first wave, but hopefully we can get enough burning damage to offset that in subsequent waves. I'll take 5 harvesting here. We will want to build less economy than most characters do and more just straight up damage, but 5 harvesting when you start with it is so good. Roll here. I'll take elemental damage from the mutation, and we'll roll. We'll buy a torch and roll. I was really hoping to get a 4th torch there. Only finding 3 and locking a 4th one for all of our money is really bad on the first wave, because Torch is a very cheap weapon, so it kind of assumes that you're going to find a bunch of them in the first couple waves. Since we haven't, we're definitely behind, economically speaking. Also, because it's an elemental weapon, we really rely on the elemental tag in order to allow it to help us kill enemies in time. I could take attack speed here. I'm going to reroll. We'll take 5 more harvesting. We'll take another torch. We'll roll. We'll take another one. We won't be able to afford a 6th torch, but hopefully I can at least roll into one. Unfortunately, no such luck. At least now our weapon damage is starting to be a little bit more efficient. But I definitely need more torches before, more and higher level torches before we can kill these enemies with our weapon attacks efficiently. Our attack speed is low, the damage from them is not that high, so we need just better weapon sets in order to clear all of these higher health enemies. Did make decent money this wave though, so that part's not bad. I'm gonna just take 5 luck here and then 3 armor to stop us from getting one shot. That's great. We'll buy both of these items and then roll. Really hoping to find more torches, please. Okay, we found one. Roll again. We'll lock, plant, coupon, and snake. These are all good. So torch does have an inherent snake effect as you level it up, but snake is still good to have earlier on. And then I could reroll for 6 to try to lock a torch, but since it's a primitive weapon with multiple tags, we're much less likely to find torches than other specific weapons that we might be looking for. Just because there's so many more possibilities that can be more likely to show up in the shop with all of those tags available to it. So re-rolling for 6 on a fairly slim chance to find another torch does not seem that valuable. Got a couple tree kills, and when they changed Jack so that you actually get the full tripled material drops from trees, this character got so much easier, because getting 9 materials out of a tree is just a ridiculous boost to your economy. Here I could take armor or luck. I could also roll for harvesting. I think I am going to roll for the harvesting. Getting to 21 feels pretty good. And then we could start building dodge, but I think I want elemental damage or economy stats, so we'll take luck instead. Buy the coupon first for the first time in my life, and then we're going to buy all of these weapons, and we'll roll again. We'll take a scar here, great find, and a shady potion, also very good. Roll again. Still hoping to find more torches, because I really need to upgrade these. The damage scaling on both melee damage and elemental damage increases, so leveling your torches is super important to make them actually do damage. Obviously want to kill these trees when we can because they're worth so many materials. The other thing about trees is that, so when you get to wave 5 or later, some enemies won't drop materials. And it used to be that the Jack had a secret passive where that wasn't true, but they removed that secret passive. So now some enemies still won't drop materials. Most will drop 3, but some will drop 0. That can never happen with trees. They always drop their full material amount, so we always get 9 materials when we kill a tree. I'll just take the 2 elemental damage here. We could take melee damage as well. It increases the damage of our attacks more. But the elemental damage is more efficient for scaling torches because it gives you the damage on the actual attack and the damage on the burning. Take the Shady Potion. I'll pass on Medical Turret. That's not a great way to heal. We'll take a tree and a torch. I'm going to take Pocket Factory. The engineering isn't great, but if we get Scared Sausage, we'll be pretty happy to have it. So the Pocket Factory can have some value there. And then we'll buy another torch. Oh yeah, also, I combined to a level 3 torch because the burning damage is based on the highest damage that you're dealing. So you want at least one high-level torch, especially because there's fewer enemies when you're playing the Jack, so we want our burning damage to be as high as possible. Basically, when you set an enemy on fire, they get the highest amount of burning and the highest duration of burning between all of your weapons. So if you hit them with a level 3 torch and then 2 seconds later hit them with a level 1 torch, it extends the duration of the level 3 burning. And similarly, if you do it in the other way around. So very useful to have a 1 higher level burning effect when you're setting enemies on fire. I'll reroll once here to see if we can find another torch. I missed, and we'll go to the next wave. I am taking a lot of damage whenever I take a hit, but one nice thing about playing torches is it's a primitive weapon, so you get a lot of extra HP and can survive these hits a little more easily. I don't think there's any chance we kill this loot alien, but I'll give it a try. Sadly, we didn't manage to. I am leaving a lot of materials on the ground, so we'll need to fix that. We'll take the propeller hat here, and then I could take regen. I could take the 1 elemental damage. I think I'm gonna take 6 movement speed, though. And then I'll take 8 harvesting. We will pick up the Pocket Factory, Alien Worm, and Ugly Tooth. This is pretty nice for the Jack, because slowing enemies is much more relevant for us. And then we'll definitely buy both of these items as well. The main thing that we're going to struggle with, of course, is Elite, but we're basically just going to try to tank through the first Elite, because this character is just not going to have the damage to kill an Elite. Elemental builds always struggle to fight Elite, and this one is going to be no exception, even with the Jack's bonus damage to Elites. Taking a lot of hits here, so I do need to be pretty careful, especially because I reduced my consumable healing, which in the early game is a huge deal. I felt like we could get away with it, but maybe that was actually a really bad mistake, reducing my consumable heal with the Alien Worm. Because now I don't have the regen to support our health to sustain yet, and I don't have the consumable heal to survive either. So that cost me a lot of money having picked up the Alien Worm, so very bad play there. I'm going to recycle Reinforced Steel. I'll take some attack speed. We desperately need more attack speed. And then we'll take Baby Squid and Treasure Map. We're going to roll here. We'll upgrade our torches, buy more elemental damage. I'm going to pass on another Alien Worm. We'll take more elemental damage, and a Scar, and then go to wave 8. So I need to make it at least a few more waves. So you can see there, that enemy didn't drop materials. That's the thing I was talking about earlier. We need to make it a few more waves for the Baby Squid to kick in, but when it does, we should have enough regeneration that we can survive even the increased damage that we're taking from the jacked enemies. As we always say, these chargers are cracked and jacked, so you wouldn't want to mess with them. Trying to kill this tree before the end of the wave. We're not going to be able to kill the other one. There's one that spawned in the top right there. You may or may not have seen that. It was just like half of the green X showing. But we weren't going to be able to get both of them, so I just killed the one near us. I could take dodge here, and I think I will. I don't have a huge interest in building dodge yet, but we already have positive XP gain, so the penalty isn't that bad, and it's relatively cheap, and if we do get a lot of dodge, it'll be valuable. I'll recycle the eye patch there. We don't have much use for that. Percent damage, very important for this character, because it affects our elemental damage, and we'll take 9% dodge, so now I can actually start building dodge, I think. Let's go ahead and buy all of these items, and then roll. We will then take a broken mouth to avoid dying. I'll take a turret. Triangle of Power I'm not going to buy. Torch is not a good weapon at keeping you from getting hit, so you would, even though there's fewer enemies on the field, and they do higher damage instances, so normally Triangle of Power is pretty good for Jack. We're still going to take a lot of hits with this build, probably, so I don't think it's worth buying Triangle here. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe I'm just not getting greedy enough. Because this is the Jack, and Triangle is really good on this character. So actually, I've talked myself into changing my mind. I think that was actually a pretty big mistake, not getting the Triangle. It's normally bad with Torch, but there's so few enemies on the field, and the amount of damage they do is so high that if you're taking 10 hits in a wave anyways, you're probably dying. So it just, it doesn't make sense to turn down such an efficient item for this character. Here I could take 4 melee damage. I think I'm just gonna reroll though. I feel like we can do better. Crit chance I'm not that excited by, but attack speed I'm very excited by, and then I'll take 12% more damage. We will take this turret. I'm still buying these random engineering items because we might find a scared sausage, which I do want. And I will pick up the propeller hat. We'll roll here. Energy bracelet, I'm still going to buy. Every point of elemental damage I can get is really good. Goblet, on the other hand, I'm not going to buy because there's so many fewer items on the field. And I don't really need the mirror, I don't think. Let's roll here. So here I could go straight to a level 4 torch. I could also upgrade my level 1 torches, which are kind of sad. I think I'm going to upgrade my level 1 torches and buy the level 3. And then shackles. Capping my move speed is really bad, but increased range for this character is quite nice. I think we will buy the shackles. We'll just have to play on low move speed for the rest of the run, but the regen, the engineering, and the range are all really good for this build right now, so shackles is too efficient to pass up on, I think. Because we have Pocket Factory and some trees and are doing kind of an engineering sub-theme, the engineering is actually fairly relevant. It's not that much damage compared to the health that the enemies have, but every little bit counts when you're playing a character that does damage over time like this. Just makes the whole thing easier to manage. Definitely need a little bit more armor. Ooh, 2 trees at once. That's nice. And we get a lot of boxes this wave. I guess that's what 60 luck will do for you. I do want more attack speed, but I also want more percent damage, so we'll take the missile. We'll take the dodge here, and Cyber Ball. Again, I wouldn't buy this in the shop because it would be too expensive for not that much damage. And it only works when an enemy dies, so it triggers many, many fewer times on the Jack than on other characters. But for 16 materials, I think it's still worth it. We'll recycle the bat here, and then I'm just going to take more elemental damage. I capped my move speed. I was considering waiting and seeing if we could roll a level 3 legs upgrade, but I didn't wait to buy the shackles, so a little sad there. Take 1 armor, but I feel like we could do better, and we'll take more attack speed. Take a torch. I have 12 engineering, so the nail is actually a pretty significant increase to our damage output, so I'll pick that up as well. We'll roll here. The jerky is really nice also, so we're going to buy that. And now I'm going to combine to a level 4 torch, because this deals 36 damage every time it ticks. 38 once we bought another torch, actually. And then we'll take a missile as well, and do a reroll. Take Barnacle, and enemies have plus 175% health, so the alien baby just takes that from 175 to 185. It doesn't increase by 10% of that bonus health, so this is a pretty efficient item for characters that have increased enemy health already. Let's see how we do fighting the elite. With the Jack, I'm never sure exactly how my damage is going to stack up against the elite, because they have more health, but you do bonus damage. It looks like we do not have the damage to kill it. Which doesn't surprise me at all, but we're just going to have to run from it. Try to pick up at least some of these materials that we're leaving on the ground here. Every hit I take is really bad, and I took a second one there, so that's definitely a problem. Remember that I have low consumable healing, so I don't have a great way to heal up quickly. We're just fully reliant on my regeneration for that, and my regeneration is fine, but not very high. So given the amount of damage that we take when we take a hit, it is very slow to heal back up. Really regretting that alien worm purchase. It was a bad idea when I did it, and it has remained a bad idea. We'll take a vigilante ring. This still has plenty of time to give us damage. We'll take a bag here. I could take max HP, but I think just more attack speed is going to be better. Take the Barnacle and the alien baby, and then I'm going to roll. A tractor, even this late, is pretty nice, so we'll grab that, and then I'm going to roll again, and we'll keep leveling our torches. Do a reroll here and lock another torch, and go to wave 12. I think just a little more dodge and armor, and we're in great shape now. The main thing I was really worried about was making it out of that elite fight. Obviously, the run is not by any means over or anything. We still don't have great healing, and enemy damage becomes really, really high when you're playing the Jack, so we could still die very quickly if I take a couple hits in a row. But getting through that elite fight definitely makes me a lot more confident in this run. That was the biggest challenge that I think we will face so far. Gonna try to kill this curse alien, though it does have a lot of health, but we're just trying to get some damage on it. The fact that there's healing enemies this wave do make this wave a lot slower. We have a lot of elemental damage, so the Tyler's pretty good, actually, and we'll take some more. Here I'm going to start building dodge. I think that 8% dodge is a really nice pickup, and we could get to dodge cap pretty quickly because of that. Take the tractor, we will take the torch, take the cute monkey to heal back up, reroll here, level our torch, buy a whistle, roll again. We are going to combine and buy another torch and buy a gentle alien. Increased enemy spawns is huge for this character. Incendiary turret I could buy. I guess I will. It doesn't do... It will just be overwritten by the burning from our torches, but it's still not a bad one to have anyways. Just a little bit more damage overall. Still going to keep passing on these alien worms. Still was a mistake to buy the first one. One nice thing about this build right now is that we have a lot of value over time items. So even if all else is equal, like if we just sort of stay in the neutral, we're going to continue to improve in power level, because we have Vigilante Ring, we have Baby Squid, we have Barnacle, so all of our items make us stronger just as we sort of passively play the game. So even if we get kind of unlucky in the shops, we still are going to increase the power level of our character relatively significantly. That loot alien took 2 million years to kill. There's another one also. Try to keep it on fire at least. It's okay to kill them slowly over time, because that's what this character does, and there's no healers this wave. but I do want to make sure we actually do kill it over time. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to do that. Sunglasses. Torch has 1.5x crit damage, and I don't really want to lose armor when I only have 3, so I'm recycling the sunglasses. I'll take 4 armor here, though. Elemental and melee damage. One of the nice things about Torch is you get value out of charcoal on both halves of it. Then we'll roll. We'll take... Do I want a Bean Teacher? My XP gain is 34%. I think we can get away with Bean Teacher. We have a Barnacle and a Baby Squid, so our levels are really valuable. Take a plant here, and then reroll. Nuclear Launcher, of course, would be really fun, but unfortunately out of theme for this character. We'll take more elemental damage, and we'll take a missile as well, or more armor and engineering. We'll take a missile as well. Alien Tongue, I would rather have Baby Gecko, I think. I don't think we need the pickup radius. We have negative... Oh, no, wait, I picked up some consumable healing with the jerky, so... Alien Tongue's a little more attractive. I guess I will buy it for that reason. Trying to set these summons on fire as soon as they spawn, because we do not want too many of these summons to get out on the map. They're very, very dangerous for the Jack, because they do increase damage, and that's bad. Taking lots of damage, it's bad. Brotato advice from Cephalopocalypse. So whenever we kill one of the summoners, we want to stay nearby it if possible to set the goobers on fire. One swing from a torch should be enough to kill them, mostly. I took a lot of hits there, though. I need to be pretty careful. We'll pick up that consumable and heal slowly with our jerky. And then same with that one. But the 17 damage hits, as you can see, are quite dangerous. So I need to stop trying to farm and just hold still and stay alive there. I'll take 8% dodge, I think, over the 20 luck, because I do need to boost my defensive stats. And then the cape is an amazing find. Yes, it really hurts my weapon damage, but the dodge is just so incredible when we are already building dodge. And we'll reroll here. We'll take another tree. Glass cannon, I don't think we can afford to take. Just makes me... It's just too dangerous. We'll take a lure and a torch, though. Again, I do not think we're going to be able to kill this elite. This is a tough wave to fight an elite on because of all the summons. And this type of elemental build does not kill elites unless you get Greek Fire, usually. Or a lot more damage than we have. Once again, I'm really impressed with Torch, I have to say. It's a weapon that has no synergy with this character. And in fact, quite significant anti-synergy with this character. And is generally considered a pretty weak weapon, and yet we're still doing pretty well. So I'm feeling like Torch is once again underrated after the buffs. Kill some of these trees and try to make as much money as possible. Pick up these materials in the center here if we can. And we'll take the little muscly dude. That's perfect. I'm going to reroll this. We could take the engineering or the regen, but I felt like we could get a dodge upgrade and hit dodge cap, which is great. And then we're going to take the armor as well. Now we're in a much better shape. I could take the range, but I don't think we need that. Let's roll, and we'll just take more armor. Elemental damage would be good also, but armor, I think, is the most important thing that this character can get at this point. Roll here. Lost Duck, I don't want. It reduces my elemental damage, but I'll take a Corrupted Shard. I'll roll. This Baby Squid is probably not worth that much regen at this point, but we have a lot of XP gain. We'll probably get like 3 levels, and if we get 3 regen out of it, it's still worth it. Regen is just that good, and it stacks with itself really well, so Baby Squid remains really good even into the late game. Take the torch. Peaceful Bee. I'm over dodge cap, so I just don't need it. We'll take the propeller hat. Ice Cube is really nice, obviously. We're very happy to have that. And we will probably get money off of the bag anyways, so we'll pick up bag here. With high luck, our bag should pay for itself very quickly. Oh, and I bought a lure, so we're getting 30 of the materials back right away. At least assuming that I can actually kill these loot aliens, which is not guaranteed, especially on Wave 16, where they have the buffing aliens that can pump them up. So I actually want to kill these really quick in order to stop them from eating a buff and getting just too tough to kill. I got the second one. There was a third one. I don't see where it went. Okay, of course it did get buffed. So we probably won't kill the third one, but we'll give it a try. Between the healing and buffing aliens, a loot alien, like the third loot alien with this slow damage over time, is just not a super high priority for me to spend time chasing it around. Rather spend time making money and just kind of running through the middle of the enemies here. Yeah, when it's this cheap, I'll take the pencil. Blood donation, we just don't need the harvesting at this point, and damage over time is pretty dangerous to us, so we're going to recycle that. I'll take 21% damage. Take the helmet. Penguin, sure, more regen. Take the broken mouth, we'll roll. We'll take the coffee and energy bracelet and roll. Gonna roll again. And elemental damage, yes please. I probably should buy Terrified Onion. I really don't want to be at negative speed. Lumberjack shirt, even this late is still probably good, and we'll take another torch. Set these enemies on fire if we can. Gotta burn the buffing aliens faster too, because they're really improving the HP of all of these enemies, which is bad for me. Yet more incredible analysis here at youtube.com/Cephalopocalypse. Taking lots of damage, bad. Enemies with high health, also bad. Who'd have thunk it? Having 60 dodge does mean that the enemy damage, increased enemy damage, is much less dangerous. Now, I don't think that you should worry too much about specifically dodge on the Jack, but it is a better defensive stat for the Jack than for other characters, because every time you dodge, you're reducing more damage. Yeah, we'll take the warrior helmet. I'll have to fix my move speed, but it's fine. We'll take the small fish, recycle the wheelbarrow, and then I'll reroll. I'm gonna reroll again. This is all really crappy. We'll take, I guess, just 8 HP. Okay, well, the snowball, this late is not that exciting, but since it's cursed, when we buy it, we're just immediately gonna get 2 elemental damage out of it, so I guess it's worth it anyways. Buy this torch, and then roll. Oh, I wish I could have got this wave, so we could actually use it against the bosses. But let me reroll there, and then for 24, we're not gonna reroll again. Alright, any chance we can kill this thing? Still looking like no. I mean, we probably could. We probably have the damage to kill it, but the amount of damage that I would take trying just does not seem safe. And we don't need a level 4 item to win or anything like that. There's no particular requirement for us to kill this elite. Some characters, you're weak, right? Or you need super high damage or synergy items or whatever in order to win. And so you have to try to kill the elite, because otherwise you can't actually get enough money to succeed. But the Jack has tons of economy, so we don't need the level 4 items from a box in order to actually win with this character. We just need to live through these elite waves, which are going to be pretty difficult, and just the normal stuff that we find from shops is going to be plenty to carry us through. Take the muscly dude here, we'll take some armor, and then, yep, we'll buy all of these things and roll. Honey, we don't have any use for. Coupon, I think we will get money back from the coupon, so I'll buy it even this late. Garden, I have +2 consumable heal, so the garden's a decent amount of healing, but I feel like we can do better. Okay, we got a scared sausage, that's nice. Take the missile as well. And I'll upgrade my torches yet again. Then we'll drink some water. I'm gonna lock the bait, and we'll take it going into the boss wave, just to try to flex. And if I die because of that, then I deserved it. But, you know, we can't let the enemies be the only ones who are both cracked and jacked. We're going to get a decent number of crates this wave as well, which is good for the bag that we picked up. Wave 19 is good for farming on Crash Zone, but not as good as it is on Abyssal Terrors. Though for the Jack, of course, we make $1 million every wave anyways, because this character's economy is massive. We're going to recycle the Rip and Tear. It's just not an important amount of damage. Same with the Ricochet. But 27 attack speed, this will help us kill the elites potentially. And then I'll take 8 movement speed so that we can dodge around them a little more efficiently as well. Warrior Helmet, this could also help me fight the bosses, so we'll grab that. We'll take move speed because I just reduced it, and elemental damage, and then roll. 30 luck for -2 armor does not seem that good with the lucky coin, so I'm going to re-roll that. But this does give us 74 engineering with the Strange Book. That's kind of awesome. I'll take a torch, and we'll take a snake here, I guess. That's probably still going to be better than anything else we could get. Burning is going to spread to a lot of additional enemies with our leveled up torches and snakes. And then, yeah, we've also got 94 engineering, which increases the weapon damage, the per hit damage of my torches by quite a bit as well. Between the Jack's bonus damage to elites and the Silver Bullet, I think we should be in decent shape to try to kill the bosses here. Obviously need to set them both on fire. Trying to hit the octopus head boss because he's the harder of the two to dodge. Needless to say, okay, I did get a % dodge there. I was going to say I've taken 3 hits so far with 60% dodge chance and gotten no dodges, but then I did get 2. So we're at 2 dodges out of 6 with a 60% chance to dodge. There we go. Just had to complain about it and the game started waking up and giving me some % dodges. Our engineering is super high, so killing these trees and getting the turrets on the field actually does help with our damage against the bosses here. Trying to keep these things set alight, but I took a lot of hits there with very poor movement, so I need to run around, pick up some consumables, keep the bosses burning. Keep running around and getting these trees. The goober summons are really starting to stack up, though. Can we get this kill? Okay, got it. Now that I've got that and we're getting the full heal, we should be able to run over and take out the other one. I made that boss fight slightly more stressful than I needed to by taking all that extra damage in the middle of it, but we did clear the bosses and have defeated the Jack with torches. I have been really liking torches. I feel like this is actually just a very solid weapon now. I know I've said that pretty much every time I pick them, but it's just impressed me every time. Let's take a look at our items here. We've got 400 saved from coupons, that's pretty nice. The Pocket Factory did quite well. Actually, we have a turret, so we can see it did 80k damage between all our turrets. 26 regen from Baby Squids, absurd. Only 2 items from Treasure Map, which we got quite early, so that's definitely not great. That was unlucky, given that we got a lot of crates this run. Cyberball, it was fine. We spent like 16 materials on it, so 9k damage isn't horrible. 400 materials from bags, 13 levels. We hit level 30, so 13 levels with the barnacle is great. These Tylers weren't amazing, but they did help a little bit. Cute monkey, good healing. Incendiary turret was again fine. We had a lot of these like lower damage items that helped out a little bit, but weren't massive contributors, but every little bit counts when you're doing all your damage slowly. And then the Strange Book ended up being plus 74 engineering, which was really awesome. All right, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed that run with the Jack, one of everyone's favorite characters, one I always look forward to with these random runs, and getting torch with Jack was a really fun one as well. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like, helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that, and you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Let's see if we can keep this win streak alive.